Hey everybody, welcome back to Pristine Podcast. My name is Lera. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can grow your podcast audience through email marketing. First of all, we need to understand what email marketing is and how to set it up. Let me show you what I mean. Right, so the first thing we need to do is open an email service provider account. We use MailerLite, so for that purpose, I'm displaying how you can set it up using MailerLite, but whichever choice you end up making, it should be pretty similar. Here's the pricing page of MailerLite, just so you can see it starts for free up to 1,000 subscribers, and you have a pretty decent limit of emails you can send per month. By the point you may need to send more emails, you can go to you'll probably be above 1,000 subscribers anyway. So, there's this dynamic slider here, which you can see how expensive your plan would be based on the number of your subscribers. It's a pretty good tool. As I said, you can start for free and then see how you go. But yeah, once you've set it up, once you've started it, you should go to subscribers and then groups. And we need to set up a group. Now, lots of other email service providers use lists in case you have more than one business and the two businesses don't have anything related with each other. So if you have, a clothes store and a butcher store, and there's no overlap between the customers of the two businesses, so you would need two lists that are completely different. To my knowledge, MailerLite does not offer that as a service, to have multiple lists. But if you have one business, you have nothing to worry about. And even if you create more than one business that are completely different, what you can do is open more than one account. So again, under groups here, you should see all of the groups that you have. These groups separate people based on their interests. So if you're offering a podcast, but you also do a masterclass, you can split people into podcast people and masterclass people. But again, it's all under one business. It's just different services that you're offering or products, and that's how you're separating people. What we need to do is create a new group. Now, I like to name these groups with square brackets that explain what the group is about. This one is newsletter podcast. If it's a freebie, I would say here freebie, or if it's a paid offer, I would say here purchase, and then the name of the group. So then click create, and you will see the new group appear down here. The next thing you need to do is set up a new form, which is going to be embedded in your website, and people are going to fill up their details to end up in your email service provider. So under forms, go to embedded forms and then create an embedded form. To keep the same naming scheme, I'm going to have the same name basically for the form as well. So newsletter podcast, and then say save and continue. The next thing it's going to ask is which group to assign these people to. Now, since we've set up the group before, when people fill up their details, they're going to end up in that specific group, but we have to select it from the list here. I haven't set it up since I didn't create it on the last step, but you should have it, and just click on the box that you see the name of it, and then say continue. The next step is to edit the form that we're going to have embedded in our website. This is a fairly standard form that's just the default way that it looks. Obviously, we can modify this title over here and the text that it has at the bottom. In this case, it says sign up for news and special offers, but you can modify all that. Something that we have to do is add a new field, which is going to be the first name. It's coming up with the last name over here. We need to select name and then say first name. Save changes, and it's going to have here email and first name. First name usually has to stay in the top, so that makes sense. And then that's our standard form. When people go to the website, they're going to fill in their first name and their email and then say subscribe. I'm going to click save and the next. Right, so this final step is the step in which MailerLite shows us our creation, what we've brought to this world. It's showing us the amazing design that we tried so hard to create. It's showing us the group in which people will end up to after they sign up, and it's giving us the URL. And then at the bottom, it gives us the code which we can use to embed it to the website to use it. So let's do that. So here's the HTML code. We can Control A or Command A and then copy it. and then we'll go to the website to set it up to see how it works. So to try this out, I'm at the back end of the Pristine podcast website. We're going to create a new page, so add new. We're going to name this Pristine podcast form, and we're going to use the DV builder, build from scratch, the white row. We're going to select code from the options, and then so you can see it from the front end, the code that we just copied will go into the box. So since it's a blank page, there's nothing in here. It's jumping around because it doesn't know what code to use, but what we can do is go to the field, which might be a bit tricky, go to the settings, and then since it's a code field, it's going to ask us for the code, and we'll just paste it. Say save, and then here's our beautiful form that again we spent so much time creating. When people find this, it's usually going to be at the bottom of your page. But yeah, when people find it, they're just going to enter their first name and email, and when they say subscribe, it's going to send people to your list, and that's pretty much it. If you think that you're on top of the horse, and you're feeling this sense of entitlement that I've got the followers, so they should all listen to me. All I need to do is publish episodes and they'll listen, and that's all that is. You're wrong, because these people are normal people just like you, and they want to feel heard. They want to feel some sort of interaction to become loyal fans. Your email list is a great place or a great method to send them a question with email, with a broadcast basically, to ask them specific things. This will make sure that you're consistently in touch with your community. You're generating some dialogue from asking questions. You will strengthen your relationships together and strengthen your podcast audience as a result. Now, a great advantage that emails have that podcasts don't, that you can use in your advantage, is that emails do not need a schedule to be posted. If you're posting your podcast once a week or twice a week in specific days, these emails don't need like a schedule to be sent. So what you can do is send your people an email in between episodes so that you can prevent them from getting cold because they haven't heard of you in a week. And what you can also do is send them inspirational emails on the beginning of every week so that you brighten up their day and, their week. Monday tends to be a bit miserable. So, you will tend to fill their cup, not just from the niche perspective with your podcast, but also personally. They will feel more calm, more happy because they get to hear from you in this form of ways. If you're finding this information helpful and you want more podcasting tips in the future, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notified in the future whenever we upload new videos. Another useful thing you can do with email marketing is to have a call to action at your emails. This is best done by including buttons in your emails, so you can have more than one button. Don't be afraid to include a lot of buttons because people usually skip at the end or don't see the email at all. So it's best to leave them a button at each paragraph so that they have the chance to click through. But be sure to not include more than one call to action, because if you're asking for them to leave a review and to then buy something that you have affiliate revenue from, it's two things that are going to be like, what do I do? Like, what is this email about? So be sure to include only one, but don't be afraid to use more than one button. Newsletters are also an amazing way to express yourself via pictures or ideas that you're having. These all ideas may not be suitable for your podcast since you must stay within your niche, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't share them at all. There's a very small group of these people that are getting your newsletter. It's not like it's public, you're posting it on social media or whatever. So this is a great way to make them feel special as well. So by sending all of these emails to so many people, you'll create a credible background in the investors' eyes who want to advertise their products. But keep in mind to have at least tried the products once for yourself to, like them. You may not love them, but if you just advertise products that you have never used before, you may be selling yourself out there. If somebody else that trusts you finds that the product is, not very good, they're going to lose their trust to you. But yeah, email marketing is a plus when it comes to all these other tools that you use to reach out to people. It's an additional way of reaching out. So if you're using a software editing tool, for example, in my case, I could just share that I use X tool, and then people will be like, oh, this guy that I trust uses that, so I'm going to use that for myself. And when they click on that button, there's a trackable link that will make sure to give you the credit for the sale, so you can have like a small percentage of the money that they've spent. If you want to grow your podcast faster and get more of your time back, then consider outsourcing podcast editing and post-production to me and my team. To learn more, check out the link in the description. As always, if you've enjoyed these tips, then don't forget to press the thumbs up and subscribe button for more podcast related content in the future. I'll see you again in the next video.